Wish you could've told me. Instead, girl, you showed me enough to know that.
Yo, what's up everyone, it's Blue Nova and I'm back with a new tutorial on how to remove harshness from your vocals using this cool plugin. But before we do, go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so that you're notified every time there's a new video. So what I'm gonna do real quick is let you guys get a preview of a song I'm working on right now. It's not finished, but it's just a rough draft. So here it is.
Wish you could've told me. Instead, girl, you showed me enough to know that you wasn't for me. How can you act like what we had wasn't real through all that time? Through all that time.
Alright, so now we're about to get into it. What I did was I added some standard effects such as some compressions, EQs, de-essers, and then I fed that into another bus where my reverb is at. Right now, we're not going to worry about the reverb and all the other stuff. We're trying to focus on removing harshness on the vocals. So what we're using today is a plugin called Soothe 2. So Soothe 2 is a plugin by Oak Sound. This isn't a sponsored video or anything, but this is more so for you guys to have the knowledge. So what I'm doing with it is basically using it to reduce and suppress high frequencies or any harsh resonance in my recordings. You can also do this with your beats as well. I've done this with a lot of my beats and it makes the mixing process a lot better. So with this, I'm gonna go ahead and play around with some of the knobs so you guys hear what it's doing, but I'm gonna let everyone hear what my vocal sounds like without Soothe 2 and without the instrumental, just so you know what the quality sounds like. All right, so here's my vocal without Soothe 2 and just standard processing such as the compressors, EQs, and de-essers.
Wish you could've told me. Instead, girl, you showed me enough to know that you wasn't for me. How can you act like what we had wasn't real through all that time?
All right, cool. So now messing with Soothe 2, we're gonna go ahead and hear what the vocals sound like with it.
Wish you could've told me. Instead, girl, you showed me enough to know that you wasn't for me. How can you act like what we had wasn't real through all that time?
All right, cool. So basically, as you can see, there's some band shit that you can go ahead and mess around with. So say, for example, you're noticing a lot of harshness in your vocals around the 4K, 5K, 8K region. You want to go ahead and bring this band up so that those frequencies are being compressed in those regions. Now you have some other options to move this band wherever you want to. As you can see, these bands are going to be focused in the region that you set them at. So if you were working on a beat and you just want to mess with the low end, say for example, the low end is too much in your instrumental, then you can go ahead and do that. You can also see it work in real time too. So you're going to see a lot of those frequencies dip whenever it's playing, as I just did. So what we're going to do is just go around the 8K region. Most harshness and vocals, they start around the 5K to 8K region. So that's typically where you want to aim at. Most of my vocals, if I'm using Soothe, I'll go ahead and set it around the 8K region, but you don't want to do it too much. So let's go ahead and play with it. Let's go ahead and set this down to 0. There might be some resonance that's suppressed, but that's because it works in real time and it's trying to push down those frequencies as they come. But on the depth option, the more we increase it, the more we're going to see those frequencies get pushed down. But here it is.
Wish you could've told me. Instead, girl, you showed me enough to know that you wasn't for me. How can you act like what we had wasn't real through all that time? Through all that time.
So yeah, pretty much it does a good job. I'm not gonna go through every single setting on here, but this is just more of a quick gem for everyone to use. Typically, whenever I use Soothe 2, I stay on the soft option and then I just focus around the 8K region as I mentioned before, and then I increase the depth anywhere from around 0 to 3. It all depends on how harsh those frequencies are coming through, but 8K is my region whenever I'm using Soothe. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this, and if you do, I'll put a link in the description for everybody to go check out Soothe and get it. But if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and put a thumbs up. Put in the comment section what you all want to see next. If you need your song mixed and mastered, go to bluenovabeats.com. Go to the contact form on the very bottom of the page and send me a message there. But I'll catch you guys on the next video.
Wish you could've told me. Instead, girl, you showed me enough to know that you wasn't for me. How can you act like what we had wasn't real through